As far as someone asked me about the markdown in prices, Tesla did a markdown to gain volume. I think this is hugely bullish for Cooper Standard. Given the run that CPS has had in the past month and your expectations for how it might trade flat after the refinancing is priced in, would you consider selling some shares now that it's not 50% of the portfolio yet? It will be shortly. To add equity positions like BABA Biotech, which may yield higher returns from now to the end of the year, now that CPS is trading at more reasonable value, and given that EPS may take a while to ramp up, do you see more potential in other positions in terms of percent gain? I don't play that game. I'll be holding this for until they're earning what I think they should earn on a normalized basis, and then I'll determine if the multiple is despondent or euphoric, and if it's anywhere near euphoria, I'll lay it off. When everyone wants it, I'll help them out. Right now, no one still wants the stock. So they're not getting it. Okay, I had to help them out when they wanted to get rid of it at $5 and $4 and $3. We helped them out. Okay, they were dumping it in the streets. There was blood in the streets. They couldn't give it away. We had to help them out. We got in at $5.50, and we're nowhere near the point where they really need to get on board and get as much stock as they want. So we'll be sure to help them out once they're ready, and we're nowhere near that. So I don't care, if they put out a press release and the stock trades down, they put out a press release that the refinancing's done and the stock trades down on a sell the news. I hope it trades down a lot. Maybe I can pick up a few more shares, but it also might trade up. So I can't predict. I don't care. I'm in this stock because I think it can earn $5, $7, maybe $8 a share on a normalized basis because they're going to get more margins from the EV cars moving forward. And $8 at 10 multiple is a lot higher than now. At a 20 times multiple, it's really a lot higher than right now. So no, I don't play those reindeer games, because what if you dump and it goes up to 25? Then you missed 100% of the move, and instead of having an 8-bagger from here, you only have a 3-bagger. That just makes absolutely no sense. I got more people contacting me asking me if they should buy more when it was at $14 and $13 than when it was at $6, $5, $4 when no one wanted it. And it's just I know a lot of you guys are learning, listening, but you got to buy when there's blood in the streets. And no, I don't. By the way, if the stock does nothing or goes down for the next 24 months and it winds up at $80 or $100, do you think I care? It's the IRR over time. It's the internal rate of return. So if it's 800% over 3 years and that all comes in the last 6 months, I don't care. Or if it comes in the first 6 months and I'm not in because I'm trying to be cute about $3, that's just not the way to play it in my view. But look, be cute. You might win. But I think it's a good question and hopefully helpful to a lot of people. So number one, thanks for listening. Number two, a lot of people are thinking that same question. I can tell by sentiment. And I don't want to play those reindeer games. I want to own this thing until it's at fair value. As far as someone asked me about the markdown in prices, Tesla did a markdown to gain volume. I think this is hugely bullish for Cooper Standard because, GM and Ford traded down on that because they'd have to, the theory was they would have to cut their prices. I don't think that's true, but let's assume that's true. And then they have dealer incentives. You're going to see massive volume. And it was just a question who was going to blink first. And I remember talking with someone. I said, look, GM and Ford may be controlling supply so they get higher margin and they've just enjoyed this halcyon period for the last 2 years. But Hyundai's not sitting on their ass. They're going to come in and they're going to undercut the market. And Kia's going to come in and undercut the market. And then they're going to get fear of loss because they're going to lose share. And then everyone's going to be cutting. Where does Cooper Standard make money? They don't care what GM and Ford's margins are. They care about number of cars because the price of the sealer per car, in order for them to sell the car, and the fluid delivery system and the brake delivery systems are based on number of cars, not on how much did GM and Ford make per car, just how many units went out. And the lower the prices, the more units are going to go out. So Tesla, who is, by the way, a client of Cooper Standard, did the whole industry a favor, and they blinked first. So now, hopefully, everyone starts to blink, and the volumes go out like crazy. Used cars will get crushed. new cars will go like bananas, and Cooper Standard will make coins. So that's our thinking there. Was able to get some CPS in the low 6s and 10s. Do you see another potential drop where adding more would still be good? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't even think in those terms. All I know is I bought as much as I could ever want, and we got in at 550. It would have to drop back to 550 for me to even look at it again. So that's not the way I think about things. So I wouldn't count on that, but nothing's impossible. Also, as Chinese stocks, any takes on NIO, I'm agnostic. I'd rather be the arms dealer than the, if you look at the 1920s and the amount of car companies that were, Packard was an incredible car. My dad always talks about it. It was his luxury car. It was the greatest. But thousands of auto companies went bankrupt. So I don't want to play the game of picking winners and picking losers. Is it going to be Geely or BYD or Tesla or Ford or... I just want to be the arms dealer. I want to sell them the sealer that goes around the doors. I want to sell them their cooling systems that you need more of for their fuel delivery systems, their brake. I want to sell. I want to sell to all of them. Okay, I hope they all do great, but I know only 2 or 3 are going to survive, and I don't want to make that gamble on who it's going to be. I mean, I look at all the pictures of NIO. I think they got cool looking cars, but I'll let the market vote for that, and I'm not going to predict it because I don't have a crystal ball on that stuff. I have a crystal ball on buying businesses that are temporarily impaired, that have years and years of track record, that have a moat around their business that just fell out of favor in the Wall Street fashion show, and I know they're going to revert back to their mean. And those I can buy all day long, and quote unquote crystal ball. It doesn't take much predicting at all. It just takes some, gonads, so to speak. So pass, not pass. I think it could work. I just don't know who's going to be the winner. It could be NIO. I don't know. You probably know better than I do. So I like Chinese stocks. As long as they're doing decent, they should get. Rising tide should lift all boats. Eric says, can you give us a sense of when the next catalyst is for CPS? Yeah, it's going to be March 17th at 1 p.m. The stars and the moon and the sun are going to align, and then it's going to go to $40. I mean, I have no idea. What I do know is once we get the press release that the financing is complete, they have a 4-year runway for the industry volumes to revert back to normal levels. We think they're going to be above trend for some time, playing catch up for the next few years. So I think that the industry volumes are going to do better than everyone expects. And then if this Tesla cut practice carries some weight, that's going to be exciting because volumes are going to go through the roof. If people can get cars at a discount to sticker and get dealer incentive financing for new cars, I mean, that's going to be a home run. And if you want to buy a 2-year-old Range Rover, you probably get it at a 70% discount a year from now as the market gets flooded with new cars, and CPS is selling the sealers for all of them, which is exciting.